Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about the must-do drill, the exercise that everybody should be doing, whether they're a good player, a bad player, or just starting the game. There's an awful lot of drills out there, and thank goodness there are, because drills really do help you to ingrain a movement into your golf swing. Some of these drills isolate body parts, get you using or used to using parts of your body that you maybe haven't done before. Try to ingrain movement into your body. But there are very few drills in as much where you're actually going to be hitting golf balls at the same time. One of the drills that I like people to do, and I think is a real must for most of my players, is just the simple 3 to 9 o'clock drill. That kind of half swing feeling or very long chip. The reason that I like this drill is because it helps you to get a feeling for where the club should be in relation to your body, both in the backswing and in the downswing. And it also helps you to move your body correctly through the ball without being under the pressure of having to hit it any kind of distance. Then the coordination of the swing is the thing that really kind of starts to take place if you do this drill on a regular basis. So what are the things we're really looking at? What are we trying to do in this drill? Well, the very first thing is simply to get that takeaway working correctly. The feeling of your chest and shoulders turning, your club staying out on plane ahead of your body, and your lower body supporting but helping you to rotate without getting too much of a kind of a wandering off out of the center in the backswing. As we've said in the past, you want that feeling as you start the backswing, almost of holding the club a little bit off the ground to take the weight of the club in the hand, and then rotating the lead shoulder down and resisting with the trail side, allowing the trail leg to straighten a little bit and keep the club out in front of you. Now, one of the most difficult things when you're doing drills is getting really some kind of connection between feel and real. You have the feeling of 9 o'clock, in truth you're up at 11 o'clock. You've got to really be thinking more about where your hands are rather than where the club is. Although I don't really want you to be doing too much with your wrists in this drill, I don't want you to be holding them so tight that you are actually stopping any kind of movement. Because in the downswing, as we change into the transition, I do want the club to have the ability to shallow a little bit, which means that as I take it up, it's very likely that there's going to be a slight change in the club path as I change direction. And simply by stopping and going in the other direction, it's going to be difficult without holding the club too tightly to keep it in that position. So don't get yourself all worked up if you're not exactly on the kind of 9 to 3 level. The next thing is basically when you do change direction, it's very difficult to do if you're back on that trail foot. So you want to, before you change direction, have the feeling of weight returning to the center, even going slightly into the front foot as you change direction, so that when you actually get the hips rotating, you're going to be able to use the ground to get the left or the lead hip out of the way. Changing rotation and going into the so-called transition of the swing is triggered, however, in the trail leg, this kind of bending of the trail leg, getting it down so that the knees are more or less at the same height, and rotating or twisting your lower body to the target. Now, this should cause your trail heel to come off the ground immediately, and it should also cause your shoulders to turn back towards the target. You don't want to be resisting or trying to get a load of rotation in your lower body without your upper body going with it. So we're taking it back on a pretty kind of straight line feeling away from the golf ball. We're resisting with the trail side, staying over it, and then you get this kind of small kind of move, and I think you can probably see there how the club will actually take a very small kick back, and this is kind of the start of this feeling of changing the plane slightly, narrowing the plane, getting it more towards your body, and also at the same time getting it kind of coming down a very slightly flatter plane that it actually went up. As you get around to the position where the hips can't move any further, it's the shoulder's job to make sure that they're still applying pressure to the arms to stop the club from overtaking. But swinging through with pretty stiff wrists will help you hopefully to keep both your lead arm straight and also keep your hands ahead of the ball. So after the change of direction, we're turning quite aggressively through the ball and trying to get that kind of feeling of the lead or lean in the club actually pressing and squashing the ball into the ground rather than trying to lift it up out of the grass. So we're squashing it, and then we're going to stop the swing at around about 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock, with the feeling that the club has not been able to overtake us, and the club face is still more or less parallel to your chest or your chest bone at the end of the swing. Once you get a feel for it, do it with the golf club and the golf ball. Hold that position a little. Try and make that a kind of a station in your swing. Obviously, in your full swing, you're not going to stop here. You're going to be coming around into the full end position. But it's a kind of feeling that you're kind of guiding your body, your arms, your hands, and the club through small stations that you're going to, as close as possible, want to hit when you're making a full swing as well. Now, this practice routine will kind of probably give you a wider arc in the backswing than you will have in your normal swing. It will not be able to keep this pressure until as long in the follow through as it in the normal swing, because the club will overtake a little bit earlier. But again, it's all about kind of developing feelings, and most importantly, getting this feeling of your body leading your arms and the golf club through the ball, of the club staying in front of you through the ball in the backswing as well as in the follow through. So even there you saw that my lead arm broke down a little bit. Again, it was a good strike. I had a good connection with the golf ball. The ball has basically gone off on the trajectory that I wanted it to do, so I'm quite happy with that. When you look at these swings in slow motion, you're probably going to see, or certainly going to see, that the swing I'm making when there's no ball there is not exactly the same swing I'm making when the ball's there. This is just the truth of the matter. You never ever really do what you think you're doing when you're swinging a golf club. But this is one of the few ways to get these two worlds closer together. And as Tiger said, it's getting the feel closer to the real. If you can do that, then you're probably going to be hitting good golf shots and you're going to be finding the golf ball more or less where you were aiming. Whereas if you get too far away from feel and real, then at some stage the ball's going to be disappearing into the bushes and you're not going to have a clue why it did it. Doing this drill on a regular basis will drill in not only the strike and the feeling and the timing of the movement, it will also start to tell your body, this is what I want to feel when I'm doing it. This is what my golf swing should feel like. And then you will slowly be able to build that into your full swing. And hopefully you'll be playing more consistent and better golf. And you've always got a swing that you can go back to on those days when it's not all working perfectly. While the others are teeing off, you just do a couple of these drills, give your body that feeling again, and in no time at all, it'll start doing or getting closer to the swings you like. Hope you liked it. Hope it helps you. If it does, smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already. Big thanks to all of my patrons. If you'd like to be a patron for the channel, I shall leave a link below. Until the next time, goodbye.